Another one. We are here. What is up, you guys? I'm signing in with yet another $1 million video. Today we're going to be checking out some content that's going to be brought to us by a YouTuber that's going to be named Generic White YouTuber. So that being said, he's going to have a couple different videos. There's going to be some Chris Hansen videos we're going to be pretty much watching today. What happened to the teenagers caught on To Catch a Predator? You know what? During holidays, not during holidays, I'm tripping. During COVID, To Catch a Predator was probably one of the most watched pieces of content that I probably seen. So that being said, because I've been watching so much into it, I've been thinking to myself, like, damn man, like when these young adults, like these young guys get caught, like how are you so young and so horny at such a young age, bro? Like it's just so weird to me, like how people could be so geeked up for sex. But then again, I can only imagine they're most likely addicted to porn, and especially nowadays it's only way worse, man. The internet is just more and more bigger, more and more powerful. More people are doing porn because it's more lucrative, more money is being made. With more money, porn being made, and more porn having access, there's a lot of people that are going to, you know, take ability or take the initiative and get access to this porn and pretty much goon out every day and every night until their balls are deflated like their favorite basketball in 5th grade. It's over with. I honestly think that, you know, a lot of times when people complain about these like OF girls on OnlyFans and shit making content, making all this money, like yeah, as cringe as it is, I can't really blame them too much for real, because really it's the guy's fault, it's the incel's fault, it's the simp's fault, it's the lusty ass gooner's fault because he can't fucking control himself. And they spend all this money thinking they're talking to some girl online. They're just talking to their manager. They're just talking to that girl's manager, that girl's brother, little brother, big brother, cousin, granddad, whatever. A lot of these guys that just can't get sex, they kind of deviate towards watching OnlyFans and stuff like that. And the ones that really try their hardest to really act out in person their sexual desires, a lot of them feel like they can't really operate on women because they spend so much time idolizing these women, you know, through a phone screen. So they take it out the easy way and then try to target kids. So we're gonna get into this content and we're gonna see all the young adults that tried to catch young children. Let's get it going.
Imagine being 19 years old and making a mistake so bad that it ruined the rest of your life. That's what happened to these 3 teenagers who appeared on To Catch a Predator. The first one we'll cover is Nicholas Lee Bailey, a student at Miami University in Oxford, Ohio, who was majoring in accounting. In March 2006, Bailey started messaging a 13-year-old girl online, and he made it clear that he knew he shouldn't be talking with her. Despite that, Nicholas continued chatting and asked several graphic questions, including if they could play strip pool. This wasn't the only child Nicholas had chatted with online, as there were at least 5 others he spoke with. Unfortunately for the accounting student, he didn't do the math, because all the underage girls were actually decoys working with To Catch a Predator and the police. Since Nicholas was on spring break, he decided to drive an hour and a half to meet the supposed 13-year-old girl in Greenville, Ohio. Instead of a child, Bailey got Chris Hansen. Despite his age, Bailey gave one of the most mature and polite interviews ever conducted on To Catch a Predator.
Don't you think maybe you should pick up a couple extra classes if you have that much spare time where you're talking to 12 and 13-year-old girls online?
I already have as much time, as many hours as I can, sir.
Perhaps more studying would be good?
My grades are fine, sir.
As soon as he left the house, Nicholas Bailey was arrested and spent his spring break behind bars. His bond was set at $2,500 and bailed out 3 days later. Now, while it probably didn't feel this way at the time for him, Bailey would actually get off pretty easy. For one,
I can kind of tell, bro. I'm not gonna lie. I don't really, man's is crashing out already at his early age because his hairline is receding, bro. I'm just stating the obvious. I'm sorry. Only do I do because his hairline is receding. I'm sorry. His hairline is receding! I see why he's mad at the world. I see it.
the footage of him on To Catch a Predator was never shown on TV, saving him from a lot of public embarrassment. Additionally, after initially trying to fight the charges, Bailey would plead guilty. He was sentenced to 90 days in jail, but would only have to serve 12 of them because of the 3 he already served, and because Nick got 75 days suspended. Additionally, the jail time would only be served over the weekends. He also had to complete 40 hours of community service, serve 2 years probation, as well as pay fines of over $1,800, in addition to some other commitments. The best part of this plea agreement for Bailey, though, was that he didn't have to register as an offender. This, and not appearing on To Catch a Predator, is what really helped Nicholas. It appears that Nick continued his education at Miami University and
Fuck, yo, did this man just ultimately get the super duper duper super finesse out of everyone that's ever been on To Catch a Predator? How the hell did he just finesse this shit? This man was able to get around him being recorded from being on the show, was able to bond out and probably only served 90 days of jail time and that's it. Didn't even have to be put on the registry list. If this nigga did some other stupid shit to get back into jail, bro, I swear, bro. Talk about fumble of the decade.
Graduated in 2008 with a Bachelor of Science degree in accounting. From there, he moved to Cincinnati, Ohio and worked as a sales associate at Walmart for about 2 years. He then left that job and worked for the retail giant Macy's as a staff accountant. He worked his way up the ladder and, in 2016, got promoted to accounting manager, a job he still works at to this very day. While Nick Bailey got off pretty easy, Richard Daniel Brialt wasn't so lucky.
Homie did get off. That's crazy. He tucked away and became a manager at Macy's. And niggas will never know. Unless they do like some hardcore research, you could probably find out. You could put his first and last name in and it'll come up on Google of like the charges and everything that he's been involved in. You'd be surprised. You can probably find your own address on the internet too as well, to be honest with you. Yeah, some scary shit. But man.
Was the oldest of 3 children. As a high school student, Briart's grades were above average and he was active in sports. Richard was also a Christian, attending church regularly and helping out with programs. Additionally, his parents were well off, with Richard's father owning a construction business that Richard also worked for. This allowed the teenager's parents to pay for his college. Richard first attended Golden West College in Huntington Beach, California. However, with the beach only a few minutes away, Richard found it hard to go to class and instead transferred to Long Beach City College. He majored in engineering and had hoped to become the first person in his family to earn a college degree. Shortly before college, Richard had gotten introduced to Yahoo chat rooms at the age of 17. Prior to meeting Chris Hansen, the teenager had chatted with multiple women online and met with 20 different females in person.
Damn! My nigga was out here working. Yo, I could probably think to myself, when I first got on Hinge, I probably had like 400 or 500 matches, bro. I was not hanging out with 20 girls, dog. Like right when my shit started to like take off, I got out the app. The second my shit started to take off, I got out the app. But like 20 girls? Damn, my nigga. You out here work? Well, actually, I'm not even gonna say my nigga. You not my homie. You are not my homie. I don't know you. I don't want to know you. You are a disgusting, horrible, vile human being. You belong in jail. You should rot and die in jail. They should toss the key. And they should cut your balls off before you rot and die in jail. But, yeah, damn, 20 is crazy.
Richard had gotten introduced to Yahoo chat rooms at the age of 17. Prior to meeting Chris Hansen, the teenager had chatted with multiple women online and met with 20 different females in person, but only got intimate with 4 of them. 2 of the women were in their mid-
At 17? Man's linked with 20 girls at 17. Not gonna lie. That's some crazy game.
Women were in their mid-30s, and the other 2 were in their 20s. Nevertheless, the 19-year-old college student agreed to meet this girl at her home in Riverside County, California. Of course, there was no 13-year-old child at the house.
So he smashed 2 30-year-olds. He smashed 2 at 17? Did he get himself?
In a minute of getting caught, the 19-year-old quickly figured out he was in trouble and got emotional.
I would feel bad doing anything with you, but it is tempting.
Sir, I know what I wrote, and just if you have a gun, just shoot me right now, because my life is finished.
During the interview, it was clear Richard wasn't an idiot. He knew that what he had done was a felony and revealed that he had even tried to start working out to spend less time on the internet.
Stop that. I tried working out. My uncle bought us a gym. I've been trying to work out, stay off the internet.
After sobbing and refusing to leave, Briart was eventually arrested and put in jail. Like Nick Bailey, Richard's confrontation with Chris Hansen wasn't shown on TV. Unlike Bailey though, Richard would fight the charges. The teenager fought for over 3 years, all while continuing to go to school. It wouldn't be until Richard was 23 that he would be punished. The engineering major decided to plead guilty and ended up receiving 180 days in jail, 3 years of probation, a total of $3,917 in fines, and had to register as an offender.
Ooh. Ooh, you're done. You're done. You're done. You're done. You're done. 19! Bro cooked his life at 19. Scrambled eggs, gone. GG's, done, over. Cooked this shit. Cooked it. Chef Boyardee. Rachel Ray. Damn. What the fuck?
One positive part of the plea was that Richard could petition to be taken off the registry after 10 years. However, while serving his time, Richard got into more trouble. In November 2009, Richard entered another inmate's cell and challenged him to a fight. The inmate didn't want to, causing Richard to grab the fellow inmate by the ankles and pull him off the top bunk, injuring the inmate in the process. Brialt ultimately had to spend 450 days in home confinement after being released from jail in order to pay $570.
He would have got out in 180 days. They said bro would have got out in 180 days. He got into one fight and they put on 450. 180 days? That was just for the crime. That was just for him getting ready to, you know, take the innocence of a girl half his age. But you fighting someone, another inmate, another criminal in the jail? Nah, we gotta give you almost 3 times that. Almost 3 times! That don't make no sense.
All this, it seems like Richard stayed out of trouble. Information is difficult to find about Richard's immediate life after jail, but based on the information I could find, he moved into a low-income apartment. There have also been rumors that Richard became homeless at one point. I do find that hard to believe, as Richard's family was well off, and they supported him throughout his case. However, it doesn't appear that Richard ever got his engineering degree. Sometime after finishing his probation, Richard Brialt would move across the country to the town of Broadway, North Carolina. It seemed like Richard's life did improve after the move. For one,
what the fuck? Oh, hell no. I know that's not a black girl. I know that's not a black queen.
Married in 2019. That same year, Richard also became eligible to be taken off the registry. However, it appears he either didn't petition to be taken off or was denied because he still appears on the North Carolina offender list.
Wait. So his girl is 19? Wait, he got married to this chick at 19?
Off the registry. However, it appears he either didn't petition to be taken off or was denied because he still appears on the North Carolina offender list. That same year, Richard also became eligible to be taken off. It seemed like Richard's life did improve after the move. For one, married in 2019. That same year, Richard also became eligible to be taken off the registry. However, it appears he either didn't petition to be taken off or was denied because he still appears on the North Carolina offender list. As for work, in 2021, Richard would become a business owner. He started a company called Black Mamba Inc. According to the annual report, it's a construction business. This isn't too surprising, considering Brialt worked for his family's construction company before To Catch a Predator. I found a phone number associated with the business and gave it a call. To my surprise, my call was answered quickly. After a few seconds of silence, I started the conversation. Hello?
Yeah.
Hey, my name is Zach. Is this Black Mamba Inc.?
Master speaking.
I answered the question and explained why I was calling. I was just calling to see, is this Richard Brialt?
No, it's not. You got the wrong number. I don't know who that is.
Okay, gotcha. Has that ever happened to you? Just okay. On top of the abrupt hang-up, the voice sounds similar to Richard's. This leads me to believe that I spoke with the real Richard Brialt. Chris Hansen also attempted to get in contact with Richard. In March 2023, Hansen managed to get a hold of Brialt's phone number, and someone answered. It's unknown if it's Richard himself or someone else, but whoever it is, they are familiar with Richard's To Catch a Predator incident.
Hi, is this Richard Brialt?
Well, why do you want to know?
Well, I'm following up. I do a podcast called where we go back and look at past cases that have come up on my predator investigations and try to talk to some of the fellas. And I'm wondering if this is the same Richard Brialt who I met in 2006 in Riverside.
You accuse somebody that was 19 years old, you're a don't call this number ever again.
Well, I just want to have your side of it.
Clearly, whoever answered feels that Richard was the victim. While Richard Brialt and Nick Bailey mostly stayed out of trouble after To Catch a Predator, Eric Pollson did not.
The fuck? Is This nigga look like fucking Vegeta. This nigga like a caveman Caucasus Mountain Vegeta. Mount Everest Vegeta. Vanilla Vegeta. Mayonnaise Vegeta. Michelin Man Vegeta.
Like Richard and Nick, Eric was also a 19-year-old college student. He was born in Walnut, California. At age 3, Eric's father left the family, but his mother did get remarried. Pollson
What's up with all these Cali niggas, bro? These Cali niggas out, bro.
excelled in school, being a skilled trumpet player and a good athlete as well. He graduated from Canyon Springs High School in 2004 at the top of his class. This allowed him to enroll at California State University in Fullerton, California. He followed his passion and majored in music with hopes of becoming a high school band teacher. Of course, that dream would be shattered. On January 4th, 2006, Eric got in contact with a girl who said she was 12. A few days later, Eric Pollson made plans to come to her house, which was in Riverside, California. Instead of a child, Chris Hansen greeted Eric, but before much of a conversation could be had, Pollson made a run for it. Cops got to him quickly, but running from his consequences would become a theme in Eric's life. It's worth noting that Eric Pollson was the only teenager caught in To Catch a Predator that was shown on TV. Perhaps the reason was that Eric tried to run, making him appear more guilty than Nicholas Bailey and Richard Brialt. Anyways, after being arrested, Eric was bailed out by an insurance company. From there, he basically resumed his life, continued to work his job at Home Depot, and
wait, what? How does that happen? You got bailed out because of an insurance company? What insurance company? I want to know, well, yo, you know how many L's I've gotten into? No, hold on now. I've never gotten into any kind of L with me, with any kind of cops, and any kind of girl that was underage or boy that was underage, because I only mess with women that are of age. That is crazy. I need to know what kind of superhuman, superhero insurance company this is that comes and just saves you. I haven't paid my property tax on both of my cars in 6 fucking months. That's like almost $800. I would love for this insurance company to come bail my ass out. I get taxed when I get the money to buy the car. When I buy the car, I get taxed again. And then when I put gas in the car, there's also taxes that I pay for. My taxes I pay for when I work are also the taxes I pay for to fix the roads that never seem to get fixed. Every single year, I pay taxes on a car that's already taxed with money that's already taxed. To drive on a road that's already been taxed. What kind of insurance company is this? I need it to come and save me. I need it to come and save me because the state of Virginia has been taking my butt.
Resuming his education. Additionally, Eric's girlfriend, who, while upset, continued to live with him and even wrote a letter supporting Eric during the legal process. Eric Pollson initially pled not guilty at the advice of his attorney. However, he soon changed his mind and admitted to the crime. On July 21st, 2006, the now 20-year-old was sentenced to 1 year in local custody, a 5-year probation, and had to register as an offender. After spending 243 days behind bars, Eric Pollson tried to have his jail sentence changed to serve the remaining days in electronic confinement or in weekend jail. However, the motion was denied, and as you'll soon find out, it was a good thing it was. Now, information on Eric's post-To Catch a Predator life is difficult to find due to Eric going out of his way to have videos, pictures, and discussions about him taken down. However, YouTuber The Skip Tracer was able to uncover a lot of interesting information about Eric Pollson. It appears that either while in jail or sometime after, Eric Pollson broke up with his girlfriend, the one who stood by him during the case. After becoming a free man again, Eric started working at Staples as a sales associate in May 2007. He worked a handful of retail jobs over the next few years and did return to school at California State University. In 2012, Eric Pollson graduated with a bachelor's degree in music. Upon graduating, it appears that Eric began a career in sales. He worked for a few different companies before becoming a retail sales representative for 2 businesses, CA Furniture Pro and Kane's Hawaiian. It's unclear if it was because of this job or something else, but either way, Pollson packed his bags and moved to Colorado Springs, Colorado, where he still lives today. He also started appearing on some dating sites, and in June 2020, Eric married a woman named Amber. Based on all this, it would seem Eric Pollson learned his lesson. However, new information would tell a completely different story. In 2009, 3 years after his To Catch a Predator incident, Eric began chatting online with another girl. This time, it was a 16-year-old. Pollson, who was 22 or 23 at this time, lied to the girl, saying he was 18 and that his name was Eric Hernandez. Like before, these chats led to Eric going to the girl's house. According to the teen, Pollson was kind and never forced himself on her, although they still got intimate several times. This was all happening while Eric was still on probation. but since he didn't get caught this time, he never got in trouble. This information about Pollson was brought to light in May 2023 when the 16-year-old girl, who is now a grown adult, shared this story on Chris Hansen's Predators I've Caught podcast.
And so he came into the house, and what happened when he got to the house?
And so he actually drove around the neighborhood as if he was looking for my house. He wasn't exactly sure which one it was. And I didn't think anything of it, obviously being 16. Now I think it's more of, he was scouting the house to see if, there were any undercovers or anything just a little bit weird and suspicious.
Make sure it wasn't another sting operation.
Right.
The woman also believes that Pollson preyed upon other young girls after his To Catch a Predator appearance. Now, while Eric Pollson was caught in To Catch a Predator, he was 19 and living on his own. When Donald Morrison got caught, he was 48, living with his mother. To see what happened to Morrison, watch the video on screen.
All right, now like I said, man, honestly, I would say that's probably the worst of the worst. Anyone that does any kind of harm or any kind of harm towards kids, man. Kids is just an absolute no-fly zone for me. Kids and women, bro. Absolutely, that shit is just horrible. It's just really, really nasty, just sick human beings. Man or a woman, doesn't really matter who you are, to be honest with you. But anyone that just tries to prey on the weak and innocent and vulnerable is just disgusting. But that being said, yo, peace up and positive like always. Be sure to smash that like button as if it's a file, because if you had your fist right now and the like button was a pedo's face, just imagine yourself just, you know what I'm saying, just smashing the shit out their face, bro. Imagine the like button to be that, and just leave that like down below. Also be sure to leave a comment. It helps boost the engagement, which will help the algorithm, help this channel with the algorithm. That being said, yo, peace up and positive like always. All my social media and my other channels in the description box down below. This is WatchMeWatchYou from Brialt, signing out yet another $1 million video. If you're not following the news, what are you doing? Yeah.
Moving on, that's easy too. Quit acting like I'm not rich. Fuck these IG hoes, I'd rather have a block bitch. She been playing on my heartstrings.